Good morning, everyone. Happy 7:10. Sorry, I don't know if there's an echo real quick. I just wanted to get the sound down, but happy 7:10. Welcome to another fabulous episode of the Hire Women podcast on Respect My Region. I'm your host, Shelbie. Today we have a very special guest from Synergy Innovation and Distribution. Her name is Shauntel Ludwig. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Shelby, for having me. I'm super excited.
Excited to get to know you, get to know more about the brands. I'm familiar with Davinci and Eyce. Thank you guys so much for sending me some gifts. I'm really excited to try them. And just a little announcement, you guys. This episode is powered by RMR Legacy Smalls, and we have a new Instagram. Please go and add respectmyregion.365 and respectmyregion.420. But yeah, I'm excited to celebrate 710 with Shauntel. So let me know about how you got into cannabis. What was your first time consuming cannabis like?
My first time, so my family was always really open about cannabis. I remember, being a teenager and, my mom's consuming like openly. And so, long gone were the days of, oh, what are those funny little smelling cigarettes? Just kind of consuming cannabis as a normal daily thing. So I think I started consuming cannabis when I was like maybe 14 or 15. And it was in the safety and comfort of my home because it wasn't, something that was frowned upon. So that was great.
Awesome. So what is your personal favorite method to smoke?
So, I think it's changed over the years. I'd say I've dabbled with every different kind of consumption method, from edibles and to, doing dabs or, using bongs. And I used to be a big bong girl. I really like the water filtration and the ability to like add ice and all the ice catchers and stuff to it, and just seeing all of like I love recyclers. But as time's Oh, okay. We're still here. All right. I lost connection. As time's gone on, I've gone more to vaporization, and that's not just because I have them all over at my disposal, but it's because it's just more of a controllable method of consumption.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So what is your journey into cannabis? What led you into where you are now? Talk about your first job in cannabis, your job before that, and then how you started to think about joining our community.
Sure. I think like a lot of people out there, I started in my college years, was always consuming cannabis, but, worked as a bartender, getting through the college years, being able to pay for that. 'Cause I paid for that all myself. And then, got into sales. I was working for ADP for a little while, and I'm really gracious to that because like the sales training there was super like intense, and like I remember sitting in a phone booth and they wouldn't let you out until you closed the deal, and but it definitely taught you the art of sales. And then after that, dabbled around, really got into the marketing sphere and fell in love with that. So I was doing some marketing for some like water purification companies and some other things, and wanted to get into international marketing and international management. That's what I'd studied, and growing up overseas. I wanted to get back to that and start to travel and work for international companies. So I started working for this company called Asian Pro Source, and they were a company that did like import and export, and helped people to build their own products. So like if you said, "Hey, I want to build a coffee cup that says, 'Hi, good morning, Shauntel,'" you would come to us. We'd help you do the design, the product development, work with the factories, bring everything over, door-to-door service. And so that's when I really got into product development and manufacturing. And so with that, it was a husband and wife team. And he was Courtney Smith, who later became the founder of Davinci. Was always building his own dreams and building his own products. And so he was building Davinci on the side, and I'm like, well, what are you doing? And, you know, being a cannabis consumer, I thought that this was a really great opportunity to jump into the cannabis industry in a time in 2011 when, you know, it was really just getting off of the ground and everything was still very, very gray area. And, you know, not a lot of people were doing it. So it was still very stereotypical in a way. And so, you know, took that opportunity, jumped in head first, and, you know, started Davinci with Courtney.
Awesome. Yeah, Davinci was one of the first flower vaporizers that I had tried. You know, we were always just doing Volcano, but then the Davinci IQ was one of my first handheld ones that I had tried. So that was my first experience with Davinci. So what were some of your early days at Davinci like? What were some memorable moments?
Oh gosh, the early days in Davinci, they're so much different than they are now. You know, one thing I'll say is as soon as I got into the cannabis industry, I knew that in my heart that I would never leave it, for a couple of different reasons. Um, it's like going to work, but you know, for a job that you love. And what do they say? If you have a job that you love, you'll never go to work for a day.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's really been that journey for me, which is amazing. But it's also working with the people in the cannabis industry. I think I've literally met some of the nicest people and done some of the nicest business transactions, especially in the early days. You know, I think it's changed a little bit now, no, more like the more corporate it's become. But at the end of the day, most of the people in the cannabis industry have that same ethos of the love for the plant and the love that, you know, the love of helping people and all of the benefits that it brings. And so it's like we all come together for a common purpose. So it's always amazing to work with people like that.
That's
Um,
exactly how I feel.
yeah. So it's like you just want to stay there. Some of the early days that were interesting, right? It's like trying to market a product that's illegal, like technically, because it was scheduled as paraphernalia, and of course now states have like changed paraphernalia laws, thankfully. But it's like, how do you tell people about precision temperature control on a vaporizer when you can't talk about cannabis? And so you have to kind of go this roundabout way. And so we did a lot of videos about like, hey, vaping green tea or vaping chamomile and the benefits of that and the temperature that you would use for that, just to try to like educate people for terpenes. And at the time, terpene wasn't even a word. You know, people are like, what's that? You're talking too scientific. And now, like fast forward 10 years later, 15 years later, you know, it's just a common thing, which is amazing to just see the growth and the vernacular change in cannabis as a whole.
Do you know why it was called Davinci?
So we were sitting in a room one day brainstorming names, and we went all over the place, right? Like Summit because it gets you high, or you know, thinking about something like mountains in a sense. And but when we thought about what we really stood for on the Davinci side, it was we stand for innovation. And we stand for, you know, changing the conversation around cannabis and you know, bringing new knowledge. And it kind of clicked. You know, that's what Davinci did. He was a philosopher, he was an inventor, he was an artist. And we're like, wow, you know, sometimes you pick a name because that's who you aspire to be. And you know, I hope that Davinci and its namesake has lived up to that aspiration.
Totally. It's an art. So what led to the merge with Eyce and Synergy?
Okay, so we're really excited about the new Synergy company. So more or less, we reacquired our brands, Eyce and Davinci. We took a little bit of a hiatus there, and so reacquired Eyce and Davinci. They are now back in the hands of the founders, which are, you know, myself, Court Smith, Bruce Hawk, and Charlie Hawk. And so formerly, you know, we were two separate brands. And when we had the opportunity to get the brands back, you know, we had been working together for such a long time, and there was just so much common ground and common interest and common passion to bring the best products to the market, both on the Eyce and the Davinci side, that there was just this natural synergy there. And so we're like, you know, I bet you we can do this better together and build a true house of brands, bringing innovative products to the market for the next years to come, while, you know, also protecting our customer service and, you know, our marketing and our branding. Let's do it together. And, you know, it's been just a natural, you know, it's been a natural, really good space to be because we all work really, really well together.
I love
So,
it.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, where are you guys based? Where are the headquarters?
So we're in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, we like it hot.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite places. I was just there for 4th of July. But okay, awesome. So are you guys part of the Cannabis Chamber of Commerce out there?
I know Danny very well. She actually used to be one of our sales reps and stuff. And so we're actually just literally getting started again. We're about 60 days out of the gate. And so we're really still just picking up the pieces right now, but definitely intend to go in that direction. Yeah,
Nice.
I love the ladies over there.
We love them too. So what are some of your favorite devices from the Synergy brands?
So from the Synergy brands, on the Eyce side of things, I am a huge fan of their AuraFlex line. So this is something like a lot of the products are patented, and this one's super cool because it's over molded silicone. Oh, you have one, yay!
It's
And
beautiful.
it is beautiful, and you can use it on 710 because it's a beautiful rig.
Absolutely. I'm excited. We're going to do an unboxing video.
Awesome. Yeah, that one's super cool. It's over molded silicone, so it's basically a double layer of silicone, and the top one makes it look like it's glass. So you get the advantage of this amazing looking glass looking like product, but it's unbreakable. And so, yeah, we get a lot of feedback, especially back from people who either have like dexterity issues or people just like to throw their things in a bag, or have broken enough rigs over their life that they're just like, I'm just going to go in this direction. And, I think it's just an awesome product.
Yay. Yeah. Literally last night, one of my glass pieces broke. So I'm still mourning the loss this morning, but I'm very excited for this AuraFlex. Beautiful colors, really standout product. Check it out, everyone. How about I have another one here from Davinci. This is the
Arctic.
Arctic?
Mm-hmm. We stick with the artsy thing, Art IQ, right?
Yes.
I do love that product. And for me, that one, it's like a lot of Davinci's flower vapes, like they have a lot of controls to them, right? Like precision temperature control, and you can really get in the weeds with it. The Arctic, though, it's our first oil device. So for up to 1 gram carts of oil, and it's literally like plug and play. So you put it in there, you can pick your power setting, and it actually cools the vapor down by up to 90%. So nice product demo. So when you're actually inhaling on that, we did some tests, and out of a standard 510 device, the temperature was coming out at like 135 degrees. And so you ever wonder why you cough when you're hitting like a top loading oil pen?
Mm-hmm.
It's the heat, and you know how it's affecting the terpenes, the cannabinoids. And so we just elongated the air path on this one, and it cooled down the vapor down to like room temperature, and we were testing at about 85 degrees.
Nice. Yes, that was a super clean hit, not too harsh. I'm not going to get oil on my lips like with the other ones. I'm not even touching the cart. So that's a great way to avoid that. I'm just going to do another one.
Hopefully you won't have to charge it for about 30 days either.
Happy 710, everyone. Check out Davinci Arctic. This is a great new device for your carts. Thank you again, Shauntel.
Thank you.
Cool. So what is your ideal smoke sesh?
Oh gosh, if we're going ideal, my ideal smoke sesh, I'm going to dream a little bit right here, right? So my ideal smoke sesh would be like sitting next to a forested river, like with some nice like pebbles, running water, and with I guess in that case I probably have my dab rig sitting right there.
You're
And
allowed.
yeah, it'd be there, it'd be clean. I think the hit and the vibe with that would be really great with like all the colors and the sounds and the soothing, and just to spend the day there. I mean, me, a couple of friends, and a babbling brook. I'm completely happy.
That's beautiful. That's exactly what relaxes me too, is being around water.
Mm-hmm. So
what's on the horizon for Synergy? Do you guys have any upcoming events or any upcoming devices that we should be excited for?
Being two innovative companies, our main goal is to get back into that, focus on innovation and bringing out products. So we do. We are revamping one of Davinci's flagship products right now that we'll see later this year. And then, we'll be entering a whole new space that Davinci hasn't dabbled in coming up next year. So we're super excited about both of those. And then on the Eyce front as well, doing some product refreshes on there. So, we'll be super excited to get those into the local stores.
Nice.
And then as far as events, like we're doing the Champs Trade Show here at the end of this month. And then we're still setting up a lot of different consumer facing events that we hope to see everybody at, because I think that we get the most feedback from people is that like when we do any kind of like cups or cannabis cups or even like concerts, and we get a sample products and stuff and give them to people and get that direct feedback, like that's everything. And a lot of the best product ideas come from that too.
Totally. Have you guys known of any celebrities using your products?
So over the years, like we've gifted a lot of products to celebrities, definitely. And so yeah, I mean, like we've done the whole like Red Man, Method Man, I think like 2 Chainz. So yeah, there's been a plethora. I mean, we've been doing this for about 15 years, and so there's definitely a lot of celebrities with their product out there.
How about awards or accolades? Like, what are some things that you're really proud of that the team has achieved?
So just last year, we ended up winning the Cannabis Paraphernalia Award. And if you guys aren't familiar with Cannabis, it's the biggest cannabis trade show in Barcelona, which is so much fun to go to. So I love doing that one. And yeah, we won Best Vaporizer for the IQ2. So super excited.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, that must have felt amazing. It's called Davinci in Spain. Any other favorite moments in cannabis? You've been in it for 15 years. Or is there any advice that you have for people looking to do what you do?
Yeah. Let me start with one of my favorite moments. Sometimes when you get into something, you don't really know your why yet. For me is that we fell into the vaporizer space and building amazing products to solve problems for people. And we always build for the medical patients. But sometimes you don't realize how you're affecting people until you get that feedback, And so one of my favorite moments, it was like in year 1 or 2 on the Davinci side. And it was, this dad wrote us a letter, and he had a son who was, having epileptic seizures. And back then, like gummies weren't a thing. And so I guess he was using the original Davinci product for his son and to stop his seizures. And so we got this really nice heartfelt thank you letter from him. And so it's like, that's when you're not just in business to be in business, but you're actually there to help people too. And so that really kind of set my why going forward. And so that's been the ethos in us building products too for the medical community.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. And then as far as advice for people going forward, if you're passionate about something, go for it. I think that you're the only person usually stopping yourself in the way. And it's like stay strong and just jump and head for it first. I mean, sometimes you're going to get rejection, but we get it all the time. And, but you have to figure out how to overcome that. And then just, move on to that next level and then just kind of just keep going for it. And, join your local chamber of cannabis. Get involved in all of the networking events. I mean, like we have like lady-led collabs and everything else out here. And so like there's plenty of opportunities to get into the industry where you're not necessarily working in the industry, but it's the connections that will get you there.
Thank you so much. So in Vegas, what are some of your hidden gems? Where are some of your favorite spots to be and to connect with people?
Oh gosh. That's a tough one. Being a Vegas local, we avoid the Strip like the plague.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of really cool like consumption lounges and stuff that are opening now too. Like Planet 13 was just opening theirs, and so that's kind of a cool spot to connect. A little touristy sometimes, but still a cool spot. But otherwise, do the Chamber of Commerce meetings. Join the lady clubs. Meet tons of cannabis folks there that are all super passionate about what they're doing.
Cool. Will you be at MJ BizCon? Do you know?
I will be at MJ BizCon.
Okay, I'm like, it's a little far ahead, but that's amazing. Hopefully I'll be there. I know that there's some other events, so I'm gonna have to decide Is there anyone you look up to in the industry or anyone else that you'd like to shout out?
Um, you know, as far as who I look out into the industry, gosh, there's so many people, who we definitely look up to. I do just want to shout out, I guess, the business partners right now. Courtney Smith has been my mentor, and kind of taught me everything that I know in terms of like business. We've grown this business together, and then shout out Charlie and Bruce too, because without them, we wouldn't be able to bring this synergy and bringing the band back together, and continue on the road that we're on.
What does a typical day look like for you?
Right now, it's wearing a lot of different hats. So it's like it's interesting because we're almost back in startup mode again.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're in startup mode, it's a little bit different because we don't have the budget to have specialists in every single different realm. So I might be doing purchase order planning, which I spent all day yesterday doing, right, to make sure that we have enough inventory to get us through Q4. And then other days, I'm pivoting and I'm putting together the next quarter's marketing plans and seeing which promotions are we going to run, what social media posts are we going to do, or I'm working with my director of operations and saying, hey, which warehouse are we going to set up next month, because we're still setting up our operations. And but the best days are always product days, and those tend to happen later in the evening, especially product testing and stuff is involved, right? So you can actually get stuff done the rest of the day. So it's very, very, very different right now, just because I'm wearing so many different hats. But at the same time, I love it because I don't know. I get bored kind of fast. And so I don't know if it's ADHD or what. It's like I like to have my hands in a lot of different things and just be able to pivot.
You're super inspiring and you're teaching me how to build a structure. I could tell you guys are planning far ahead into years ahead. So that's amazing. But this week, like, do you have any 710 celebrations today at the office, or are you guys doing anything special?
So, right now we're focused on pushing out some campaigns and stuff. I know that we're doing a special 710 sale on Eyce.com and Davinci Vaporizer.com, and then we'll definitely have a sesh. I don't know if it's proper to do a smoke sesh at 420 on 710, but we don't want to be here at 710 today, so that's what's happening.
Yeah. So what? I don't know if this is weird to ask, but I mean, what does a hire woman mean to you? And what was the time that you felt like a hire woman?
Oh gosh, a hire woman to me means it's pursuing your passion and getting to where you want to be in your career, right? And if not getting to where you want to be, but at least making the strides to get there. And so that's what that means to me. And it's like the way that you get there is just continuously fighting for where you want to be. And sometimes I think it's tough because, well, I think 15 years ago, I remember they said cannabis was going to be dominated by women. And you saw that in the very, very beginning because I think women are natural caretakers. Mm-hmm. And so you saw everybody coming out, and there was the nurses and everybody saying, hey, we're going to be the next cannabis executives. And that was true for a certain amount of time. And then big corporate came in. It tended to be more male dominated, but that doesn't mean that you can't be that hire woman. It just means that you have to, really set your sights on where you want to be, and then do all of the right things in order to get there. So, use your voice, set your plans, make sure that you're heard, and then you're not pushed aside. And so, once you get into that space and people know that you do have a voice and an opinion on things, and it turns out to be right, then, you end up, being able to, excel, I guess, in that growth chart where you're trying to get.
Thank you. I needed to hear that. So thank you for that. And what was the time where you felt like a hire woman? Where you just felt like,
oh gosh. I guess right now I'm doing this podcast with you.
Perfect. Beautiful answer. Is there anything that you would like to leave the show with? Anything else that you would like to say?
Thanks so much for having me today, and, to talk to all these other empowering women out there. I'd say, especially from a hire woman perspective, that you can have it all. So you can be a mom, you can be a wife, you can be a CEO. It's just, about what your goals are, how you manage your time, and do you really want it? And at the end of the day, just know, that it's definitely there and it's a possibility. So don't ever give up on your dreams.
Thank you so much, Shauntel. I'm excited. I'm excited to know you and excited to meet you in person. Thank you for this conversation. Happy 710. We're going to be celebrating all day. Like I said, I'm going to be celebrating with these amazing devices. Thank you guys so much, Synergy. And yeah, everybody check them out. And happy 710 once again.
Happy 710.